how do you plead to the charge of aggravated murder in violation of revised code section 2903.01A? How do you plead to that charge?
Because of the plea deal, I will plead guilty.
You're pleading guilty, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
All right.
And just like that, a plea agreement is reached less than 3 months after Amanda, Gina, and Michelle were rescued from a Seymour Avenue home. Ariel Castro agreed to life in prison without parole, plus at least 1,000 years. He pled guilty to 937 offenses, and by doing so, avoids the possibility of re-indictment and the death penalty. Tonight, Chris Flanagan is live on 5 on the street where it all began on May 6th.
That's right. I've learned more about the future of 2207 Seymour Avenue, the house itself, and also what's left inside.
And we're going to get to that story in just a minute, but we want to begin with the big developments of the day. Ariel Castro entered the courtroom just after 10:30 this morning, head up and wearing glasses, to change the course of this case.
Mr. Castro, my understanding from meeting with your counsel and counsel for the state is that a plea agreement has been reached in this matter. Are you fully aware of the terms, and do you consent to that plea agreement?
I am fully aware and I do consent to it.
Judge Michael Russo then began a lengthy process of making sure Ariel Castro completely understood the plea, all of the charges and possible penalties, and that he would never get out of prison.
Do you understand, Mr. Castro, that upon entering this plea, you will never be released from prison?
I do understand that, and I stated that to Dave, what's his last name? The agent, Dave at Sex Crimes, that I knew I was going to get pretty much the book thrown at me.
Castro saying more today, giving us a glimpse into his mind.
There's some things that I have to, I don't comprehend because of my sexual problem throughout my whole years. But pretty much, yes, I understand what they have been telling me.
The man who entered guilty pleas on murder, rape, and kidnapping charges had this to say.
I was also a victim as a child, and it just kept going.
Judge Russo asked about Castro's English language abilities.
English, I'm very good at spelling and I'm very good at reading, but I can't comprehend because of, like I mentioned earlier, my addiction to pornography and my sexual problem has really taken a toll on my mind.
Okay. But in general, the things that you've had to deal with here, evidence, the charges, conversations with your attorneys, you've been able to understand the written material as well as the spoken material?
Yes, and I put my trust on them.
But you understand, by virtue of this plea agreement, you'll be sentenced to life without parole, you're not getting out, and there are additional amounts of time that the court, if I accept the plea agreement, I'll be sentencing you to additional time of 1,000 years.
I do understand.
Count 1, how do you plead to the charge of aggravated murder in violation of revised code section 2903.01A? How do you plead to that charge?
Because of the plea deal, I will plead guilty.
You're pleading guilty, is that correct?
Yes, it is.
Amanda, Gina, and Michelle issued a statement today through their lawyers saying they are, quote, satisfied with the outcome and looking forward to having these legal proceedings draw to a final close in the near future. You can read their entire statement on newsnet5.com. Well, now that we know what